You didn't say anything. You didn't cry. You sat down on the couch, maybe stared at the wall for a second, and before you could even process what you were feeling, your dog was already there, head in your lap, eyes on your face, weight against your leg, like they were trying to hold you in place. You didn't call them, they just came. Most people write this off as coincidence or training or the fact that dogs are always nearby anyway. But I want to show you what's actually happening in your dog's brain in that moment because it's not coincidence, it's not luck. And when you understand this system, your dog is running underneath that response. The movement is going to feel very different. Let's start with their nose because everything starts there. A dog's nose contains roughly 300 million olfactory receptors. Humans have about 6 million. That's not a small gap. That's a different world entirely. But the number isn't even the most important part. What matters is what dogs have learned to do with that capability over thousands of years of living beside us. In 2017, a team of researchers at Queen's University Belfast ran a study that should have been front page news. They trained dogs to identify human stress through smell alone, not through tone of voice, not through body language, through chemical samples, sweat and breath taken from people before and after a stressful task. The dogs identified the stressed samples at a rate significantly above chance. They could smell that something had changed in the person's body, not because they were trained to recognize sadness specifically, but because human stress produces measurable chemical changes, and dogs notice those changes automatically. Here's what that means for your couch movement when your mood shifts, even before your face changes, even before you speak, your body starts producing different chemistry. Cortisol rises, adrenaline shifts, the particular signature of your sleep, your breath, even the air around you changes at a molecular level. You are not aware of any of this. Your dog already, if they didn't come because they heard something, they came because they smelled that you were different. Now hold that because the nose is only the first layer. Here's where it gets strange. In 2016, researchers at the University of Helsinki published a study on dog emotion recognition. They showed dogs images of human faces and tracked their eye movements. The dogs showed clear ability to distinguish emotional states from facial expressions alone. They spend more time looking at the eyes of faces showing negative emotion. Their cortisol rose when exposed to images of angry or fearful humans. This is not trained behavior. The dogs in this study had no prior training in emotion recognition. This ability appears to emerge from proximity, from years of dogs and humans reading each other across the same rooms, around the same fires, through the same uncertain moments. The dog's brain built a system for reading human faces the way you build a system for reading the road when you drive, not consciously, just from repetition and consequence. Your dog has been studying your face since the day they met you. And here is where I want to slow down because this next piece is the one that stops people. One more thing, and this one stopped me. A 2021 study out of Otwas Laurent University in Budapest went further than facial recognition. They looked at how dogs respond to the full emotional package, expression, posture, and sound when a human is in distress. What they found was that dogs don't just notice individual signals, they integrate them. They read the whole picture at once, the way a doctor reads a patient, and they respond to the emotional state underneath, not just the surface behavior. But the most remarkable finding in that study was timing. The dogs began moving toward the distressed human before the human showed clear external signs of distress, before the face changed, before the voice changed, before the posture shifted. The dogs were responding to the earliest internal signal, the chemical shift, the micro change in breathing, the subtle postural tension that comes before conscious emotion surfaces. Your dog knew you were sad before you did. That's not a metaphor. In some cases, that is literally what happened. I want to be honest with you here because this is where the science gets complicated. Not every dog who watches you sleep is doing it from a place of calm guardianship. Some are doing it from anxiety. The owner's change state is a source of instability for them. Coming close is a way of managing their own discomfort. The behavior looks the same from the outside. The internal motivation is different. There's also something called emotional contagion, which is different from empathy. Emotional contagion means your dog catches your mood the way you catch a yawn. It spreads to them. That's real and it matters, but it's not the same as your dog consciously deciding to comfort you. Zayas approach, tense body, whale eye, panting, can't settle, paces, attuned approach, loose body, slow movement, hold contact, willing to settle, and simply stay. If your dog comes close and then stays, just stays without asking for anything, that's the second one. Let's go back to the couch. You sat down, you had not said a word, and your dog came. Your body chemistry shifted. Your dog caught the shift in the air before anything else changed. They looked at your face. They saw match a pattern they have been building since the day they met you. Then they integrated it, scent plus face plus the way you were sitting, and something in their system said go, not because they were trained to, but because your dog has been running a background process. Call it the canine code that monitors you constantly, not obsessively, not anxiously, in most cases just steadily. The way a ship's instrument tracks the horizon, even when the sea is calm, when the signal changed, the system responded, and they came before you even knew you needed them to. There is something I keep thinking about when I sit with this. We spend a lot of time wondering if our dogs truly understand us, if they really feel what we feel, if the bond is as real as it seems, or if we have been projecting something that isn't there. The science doesn't say your dog loves you the way an other human does. What it says is something more honest and in some ways more remarkable. Your dog has built a system over thousands of years and then over the specific years of knowing you that tracks your internal state in real time through chemistry, through your face, through the way you breathe, through the way you hold your body in a room. You are the most important data source in your dog's world, and they are always reading you when they come to the couch without being called. They are not performing loyalty. They are not following a script. They are responding to a signal that you didn't even know you sent, and they arrived before you knew you needed them to. That's not magic, but I think if you sit with what it actually is, the biology, the evolution, the thousands of years of dogs learning to read the people they live beside, I think it's better than magic.